Hello there, Only One Kenobi here, Only One. Welcome to episode 15 of Only One Fans. Yeah, a little bit of an absence for myself. I caught the you-know-what recently, this thing, I've actually dodged that bullet for a long time. All my colleagues have pretty much had it and stuff, and everyone around me has, but it finally got to me too. But still, I'm alright now. Still a bit of a lack of sense of smell, still, but apart from that, I'm on the mend. So anyway, so there was a bit of a lack of videos and stuff, and I haven't got round to putting together an Only One Fans for a while, but here one is. I'd already started making it before I contracted it, and then I'm just now jigsawing everything together now. So thank you for hanging in there. Hope you are all well. I've got a few things on for this episode. Number one, the featured vehicle. You've already seen that. I put that out because I'd already edited that. That was the T47 Snowspeed, a brilliant vehicle. This is the Rogue 2 version as well, man. I love that. I love Zev Seneska, so that's the spotlight special for this week. The figure I'm opening this week was going to be the 4 astromechs for the Royal Starship, which I did open them, but the footage was about 18 minutes, and though I can edit these things down, it's too long for an episode of Only One Fans. I thought I'd put that out as an extended opening separate from the show. So instead I thought to myself, what else could I open? And I opened 2 things that I was dying to open, and it was the 2 Stormtroopers. I thought that would be quite a nice idea. So I've got the Stormtrooper, the new 231, which I've had for weeks now, and I can't believe I've not even opened it to this day, but I have finally opened that, and you'll see that later. And also the retro collection one. I thought I'd make it a little bit of a young and old combination video. However, I'm really sorry, but get ready for a bit of a rant on that one. I don't really like having to rant. I was very angry by each of them. They look beautiful, but stay tuned for that if you want to hear me ranting about that, and hopefully it's acceptable. I've tried to edit that down because I was effing and jeffing and all sorts of words. Anyway, so that's that. And what else? Oh yes, the usual things. One voice, and also I've got a few questions I'd like to answer from a few people who've been in touch with me over the last few weeks and months. Starting with this question now. A question here by a Patron supporter, Rob Kirkham, and he asks if I could have a prop or model from the show or from Star Wars, what would it be? Now, if there was to be one prop, it would be Luke Skywalker's lightsaber hilt, closely followed by Han Solo's blaster, my god. But yeah, this is my favourite kind of accessory or prop or whatever you want to call it from all the movies. But because I already own this, and this ain't bad, this is the removable hilt signature edition, I think they're called, from Hasbro. So they were great because you could remove the hilt from them. I think they go for a lot of money now. But anyway, I love Luke Skywalker's lightsaber because it's also Anakin's. But because this is so darn good, this could be the prop from the movie, you know what I mean? So I've got this, but let's move it on. So Rob, you said prop or model, but if you don't mind, I'm going to answer both. So if I could have a prop, it would be this, but because I've already got it, I'm going to go for the model. What model would I have? Well, again, I've got all these items. They kind of tick boxes of stuff that I wish to own. Even that there. But I know you're not talking about Hasbro props or toys, but you're talking about actual movie props, which would be awesome to have any. But my god, I can answer this question by saying to you, Death Star, Rob, ladies and gentlemen, the Death Star. There was a model of the Death Star built. Death Star 2, that would be quite interesting, but no, Death Star 1, that would be awesome. I don't know whatever happened to it. It was said in that Industrial Light and Magic documentary on Disney Plus know if it got skipped or something, or somebody has it, I don't know. But still, that would be brilliant, because they, you know, everyone goes on about Death Star playset, this, that, the other. And, you know, the thing about the Death Star and Star Destroyers, in fact, actually, Star Destroyer, I'd love a model Star Destroyer built by ILM. They're just too darn big, and they're never going to release that as a toy. They can only ever give you a section of it, like, say, the bridge, or, like, with the Death Star playset, they'd only give you a playset type thing, like a doll's house, effectively. But if I could get hold of a model of it, which would be too big a deal for a Hasbro toy company to make, but, you know, if, say, I could wave a magic wand and have any wish I desired, I would have the prop that Lucasfilm used for the filming of Star Wars for either a Star Destroyer or a Death Star, but I think a Death Star might be more interesting, don't you agree? So yeah, man, that's what I would choose. Thanks for your question, Rob. Awesome question. And speaking of patrons, we have a question from Lara V here, and she asked me what would be the top 5 items that I would never sell. And I think I have answered that already, not on this show, but in a video. I think it was when I did my... No, I did answer that. I think it was Shabby, or somebody asked me that question. I can't remember now, forgive me. But I did... Oh, that's right. Somebody said about if you had a fire or something, you had to get rid of everything, what would you keep? And I said it was this. So it's the sail barge, and the only reason I'd keep it is because of the fact that it is, of all these things, the hardest to get, because they only made a certain amount of them. You could probably get hold of another one of them. If it was pure love and visual pleasing that I was keeping something for, it would be this Falcon. I love that vehicle. I never get sick of pointing a camera at that and looking at that. It's just brilliant on that angle as well, with the cockpit there. So top 5, you say, well, number 1, keeping forever, would be that. Number 2, oh God, I don't know, man. I've not really thought this through before I started filming. Maybe it would be a figure or something. I don't know. Maybe I would choose that Anakin, which is just so good. Yeah, bear with me a minute. I found him. Let me just point the camera at this lightsaber, because that's relative. While I try and go and get him. Yeah, this Anakin Skywalker here. That's a variant. I've changed his cape to soft goods there, but they're so rare, and it's my favourite. I'd keep hold of that till the very bitter end. And I'll have to get back to you, Lara V, if you don't mind. I'm going to think about that a bit longer. What else have I got that's super rare? You know, figures like this Revan, I mean, you know, he's just great looking, and, you know, he's quite a rare figure. If I had XR Kun in my collection, he would definitely be on that list, but I don't, unfortunately. Yeah, man, very difficult. I'm sorry, Lara, I'm going to cop out on that one. I haven't really thought it through, so I'm just going to give you my number 1, which is the barge. Number 2, we'll make it the Falcon, because I love it so much. Number 3, well, this might have gone up in a lot in value, has it not? The hilt of Luke Skywalker. I mean, this is quite expensive now. I don't know. I'll have to check eBay, but it's not all about money. It's about what you love. But I do like that piece. I don't really have anything that rare or valuable, really. You need to talk to one of these high-end. You need to talk to Steve Sansweet. He'll give you some answers on that. Wow, I wonder what his is. I'm sure he must have stated that in an interview. But I'll tell you what I'll do, Lara. I might make that a separate video. But for now, I've just spoken my mind briefly, because I have answered it before in a roundabout way. Awesome. Good topic, though. Ian Bowden from Buffy's Cave.
Hello, Nick. I hope you're doing well. I just watched your Only One Fans video. Absolutely awesome. Loved it. I do have a question actually for a future episode. Well, sort of two actually. First one is, what is your favourite figure out of all the lines? Doesn't have to be vintage collection, it could be any. But I know you did mention about an Anakin figure back along, so I don't know if that was it. I don't know, but I'll basically ask another question as well. And it came to me, I just wanted to ask, minus Star Wars, what is your other fandoms? What other fandoms do you love? For me, as you know, I'm a massive Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, and Angel, and Star Wars as well. That's my big ones, and then, and most important, and then it's Doctor Who. But for you, minus Star Wars, do you have any other fandoms you absolutely love and you're a massive fan of?
God, there's quite a lot of nostalgia going on in this shot, Ian. I've just set this up to answer your question, but yeah, as you already knew, and lots of you know, and maybe some of you don't know, that this is what I would say is my favourite figure. It's very hard to choose one favourite. I've got lots of favourites, but because this is such a standalone figure, and it's rare, sorry Boba, and it's, well, let me go through all the things I love about the figure. The cape, look at it, it's just Darth Vader, you know, as he is in the original trilogy, except it has the head of a really good looking Hayden Christensen there. That's the best I think they've ever done. It's something about the hair, the sculpt of the hair, and he's obviously he's got the blue lightsaber there, so that screams aloud New Hope. The black screams aloud Return of the Jedi. It's the father of Luke Skywalker. It is effectively a human version of Darth Vader. It is just Star Wars all in one, so that's why I love that figure very much. And then other fandoms, well, it's an interesting one. Years ago, I used to love, after like Star Wars wrestling figures in the 1990s, man, I loved them. Not this scale. I think they were 4.5 to 5 inches, were they not, those figures? I absolutely love them. I got a lot of play out of those. But now I don't really collect wrestling figures really. But this is one area where I kind of like the 6-inch line. I think that it works for wrestlers because in terms of world building, there's not much you need to do. You don't need to build vehicles or anything. It's just a load of guys standing together, isn't it, really, when you get them loose. This is one I did buy. I had to buy this one because this, of all the figures of Hulk Hogan they made, has the Hulk Rules shirt, so I like that one. It's the only one I've got loose, actually, and I really don't really have anywhere to have him displayed. I've got him in a glass cabinet downstairs, actually. These I could open. I bought this ages ago. I saw that in a Home Bargain, and that Ultimate Warrior is just as I remember the Ultimate Warrior, or the best period, when he was the Intercontinental champion with the brown hair. I mean, I love Hulk Hogan, but the NWO, when he totally revitalized his career, the rebirth of Hogan, that unbelievable. Ric Flair, uppermost respect. So I've never opened them, but I do like that Elite series. But fandoms, well, I'd like to say I like Doctor Who, but I can't, because it's the Daleks that I love. I mean, I love the Doctor, the classic Doctor, but I wouldn't know anything about anything that isn't happening within the Dalek lore, if that makes sense. So the classic Dalek serials I love. This is from Remembrance of the Daleks, an absolutely phenomenal storyline. That is unbelievable, like blockbuster Hollywood material. That fantastic. The scientific core as seen in Death to the Daleks. The Dalek Supreme as seen in Planet of the Daleks. Then the Grey Grunts you see in Planet of the Daleks as well. I love that style of Dalek there, the 1970s Dalek. And that's what you see in Genesis as well. But then also this is from Remembrance of the Daleks. That's the Dalek Supreme, where there were two factions of Daleks. Big fans of them. And the reason I thought I'd mention them, Ian, is because, you know, in terms of buying merchandise, I don't really buy much for all the other stuff I love. Like, I love Alien. I don't have really anything for Alien. But I do have these. And they are scaled to 3 3/4 inch. So, you know, you could have them head to head with some of these figures. And I was going to put them on the Tantive 4 for you now, but I just thought I'd just lay it all out here. But there you are. I hope that has answered your question. I don't watch the WWE, as it's called now, today. I have no idea who anyone is. But what I do hold is a soft spot for the whole of the 90s era, right from the end of Hulkamania to the birth of the Attitude Era and the NWO. What an era that was. Absolutely groundbreaking stuff. And I hold it in high regard to this day. But I have no clue what's going on in wrestling now. Lightsaber, aka Moose Soup.
What you kids are doing? Oh, this is Moose Soup from the Lightsaber channel. Hey, only one Kenobi. Only one! What you're doing? Hey, I want to ask you a question for your next live stream where you take questions. Hey, I want to know your favorite top 3 Star Wars aliens. We all know Nikto is your favorite, but let us know some other ones, huh? Anyway, peace on earth and goodwill to all you peoples, and let the force be with you, okay?
More soap. I'm gonna go on intuition with this one. I'm just gonna film 2 shelves full of aliens, right? I'm just gonna pick off not necessarily my favorite aliens, but my favorite figures, which probably will correspond with my favorite aliens, I guess. So yeah, we're not gonna talk about Nikto or Weequay, or hang on, Green Nikto. He's brilliant. That'd be one of my absolute favorite figures, period. But necessarily, I'm not a fan of Green Niktos because they annoy me a little bit. They annoyed me in Mandalorian, just the way they behaved. But right, so let's just go in. Let's have a look at this. Let's just make a decision. Top 3. Look, there's loads of aliens here. Getting a quick overview, and I'd have to go in on this guy. Yeah, that'd be number 1. This is a great figure, but not necessarily my favorite alien. So I might come back to him. Ooh, this is tempting. Look at that. They've got great character. I think I might pull him in. Maybe, but no, I want to talk about this guy. It's a great figure, and I don't know what species they are, but totally underrated. Who else floats my boat round here? I'd be very tempted, but that's just the old cliche, everyone going on about Hammerhead. But that as a figure was amazing. A brilliant figure. If you're going to make a vintage collection one, it's got to be as good as this, although he lacks articulation and stuff. But is that 3? I'm going to leave him out because he just sort of goes without saying with him. I'm going to go with favourite figures of aliens beyond the ones that are my favourite. It would be this guy, who needs a redo. Hopefully that will be coming soon. And then we've got him. And then, oh man, I'm just sort of random. Oh, I can't not put him into favourite figures. I love these guys. They are amazing, aren't they? Good question. Moose Soap. Lack Zivrak, but I really don't have you. I tell you what I do have, and you're not going to like this. I got him, your replacement. He's not going to like that, is he? But no alien is better than him, is there really? Anyway, I'm not answering any of these questions. I'm just pointing and pressing and filming and showing you what I have, man. But it's all relative, but I'd have to think a bit harder. I'm just sort of filming this on the fly. For the next episode coming up. But look at this good shot here. You've got a woohoo or whatever as Tim calls him, woohoo. Brilliant aliens. Look at this guy, unbelievable. Not answering the question, I'm just pointing and pressing and filming. But look at all these. I love these 2 shelves. I might have to give them a little bit more closer focus in the next series of shelf indulgence. I just wanna open my figures. If I don't, my nigga triggered, yeah. I just wanna open my figures. If I just wanna open my figures. I just wanna open my figures. I just wanna. Hello there, only one Kenobi here. Only one. This is what I'm gonna open in this episode. However, what I did was, I've just done a video opening these guys, but it went on far too long that I can't put it into Only One Fans, I'm afraid. So, if you want to see an extended opening of these, I will do that in a separate video, which is either going to be before or after this episode of Only One Fans. I think it's probably going to be after. I'll put that out. So I will leave a link nonetheless as soon as I can in the bottom, so you can see that one. But these were awesome. I'm so glad I opened them. Really, really good. But moving hastily on, I also found some 3D glasses in there as well, which is pretty good. Always wanted a pair of them. So I thought I would open these 2 because, well, not only do I need to get that open, it's criminal that I haven't already, but I thought I would make it a little bit of a then and now opening, you know what I mean? That isn't an original 80s Stormtrooper, but It's as good as. And I'm going to put it on these shelves somewhere. Contrary to what I used to say about the retro collection, I'll be able to Easter egg him somewhere, man. He'll make an awesome little Easter egg. And then this new one, what am I doing? Get it open. I've got loads of them, you see. I've got about 8 from Star Action Figures, and all of them were absolutely blemishless. Blemishless. Can't even speak. Blemishless. They don't have a blemish on them. So I couldn't find. This one had a tiny couple of little speckles on the bubble, and a tiny crease on the card near the hanger. Nothing though. So that was the least worthy of keeping carded, should we say. So I'm going to open that one. And yeah, can't wait to do it. So which do we do first? I think I might open this guy first. We'll leave the classic till later, but wow, that'll bring back memories opening that. So firstly, the Stormtrooper, the VC231. Easy. We're in. And it's just great that they finally did it, you know. They've given you a really good Stormtrooper on a proper Stormtrooper card with the Star Wars chase. The previous time was, as I always tell you, was George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise. That was the only time they'd ever done it on a vintage card, giving you the Star Wars chase anyway with the classic Stormtrooper image. But this is it now. He's open. Yeah, man, he's just as good as all those other ones. I've got all my really good Stormies up there on the Tantive 4. One of the best ones is the one that came with the carbonite freezing chamber. A lot of people now even think that is still the best, but still, you know, I can't really see much of a difference. I'm one of these people who are not a massive Stormtrooper buff, connoisseur, detail freak. Need to speak to someone like Daniel Chart about that, but this one does look like a good one. Yeah. And I remember Tim from Bosk's Bounty, when he first reviewed this, he had a weird one with like a yellow helmet and stuff. And then when we did our recent series, yeah, it is a good Stormtrooper, talking about what the best figures were, this was on his list. I think it was his number 1, I think. But I couldn't do that at that point in time because I hadn't actually opened one. But yeah, I mean, this is a really good Stormy. I was really happy with the 140. Was it 140 or 145? Yeah, I think it was 140. If I can just focus on this guy. The one that came in the Rogue One line. I thought he was pretty spectacular. And that goes back many years now. Back to 2019 at least. But focus. There you are. Yeah, it's just a Stormtrooper. A really good one. What can I say? I might get the other one open swiftly. And then we'll see what it's like. It's good that they've got the holster there. Yeah, that is very good. Slightly lower, I think, than the other one. Maybe I'll do a separate comparison video with all the other ones. At some point, I'm sure I'll put them side to side. But for the sake of ease and just getting them open, I'll just move hastily on. Before I do that, though, I will use a stand for this guy. Oh, come on. You're joking? Are you having a fucking laugh, Hasbro? They don't look deep at all. I'm going to try a different stand. This is the one I got from Ian's Display Accessories. There's a little plug for you, Ian. People do ask me where I get my stands from. Well, these are the most recent modern figure stands I ever bought. I've been very happy with these, although sometimes they just don't work. I mean, nah, they're not going to... I don't believe this. So here's the first criticism. They don't fucking work, man. It's ridiculous. The heel peg holes are not deep enough, Hasbro. You pains in the ass. What are you doing? Ridiculous. That's not good enough. It's crap. It's turning into a figure review / rant, but that is not acceptable, that. These goddamn rocker ankles everyone goes on about, who gives a f***? You can't even get the figure to sit on peg stands. Ridiculous, that, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. What's the point in having peg holes when you can't even put them on a peg? Bruh. Anyway, the good news is the figure looks good. Whatever. That's ridiculous. I've got so many figures like that. Look at it. Is that acceptable? It's not. Yeah, he looks great, man, but that is just crap. I mean, everyone goes on about rocker ankles. I suppose, do they make a difference? I suppose, but I tell you what, they would be more functional or serve a better purpose if these pegs worked. You know what I'm saying? If they could have put the peg hole where there's thickness right there, just above his, not, what do you call that? Not the shin, that top bit there. You could have had the peg, because I've seen peg holes in the front of people's feet in the past. Like on the Imperial Navy guy, that's terrible. There's depth there, isn't there? It's haven't drilled deep enough. It's ridiculous. Anyway, moving hastily on to this guy. Classic. Right. Wow, if only that smelled like the classic, but still looks cool, man. That's really good. Let's get him out for you. Ooh. And a classic blaster as well. I'm going to Easter egg him somewhere, man. Not quite sure where yet. Let's get this blaster in his hand. There you are. That doesn't hold very well in his hand. Well, that's terrible. I mean, I don't know what the original one was like, but that's pathetic. Wouldn't even hold in his hand. I mean, they could have arranged it so that that worked. Am I right? I mean, Boba Fett does. This is the Boba Fett, right? The Retro Collection Fett. I think, as far as I know, you can hold the blaster, man. That is pathetic. I mean, I don't know what the one was like in the 80s. Probably that was like this or bad, but they could have changed it like they did Leia. I'm sure they've tweaked these figures to rectify any errors that used to exist. That ain't good, man. I'm gonna have to... Can you hold it like that? Aha! Well, there you go. He holds it better like that, but that's not how he should hold it. Or should he? I don't know. I don't remember that. That's the hand where you hold it, where the trigger is, man. That's... Anyway. So this has made me quite angry, ladies and gentlemen, this review. I'm overjoyed to open these things, and I will put them somewhere on these shelves, but... They've got their problems, have they not? That does look pretty good though, doesn't it? Look at that Stormy. That was a classic. I remember getting this as a kid, but before I had this, I had the AT-AT driver, and I used to think he looked more like a Stormtrooper than the Stormtroopers did, but don't get me wrong, the day I got this and I opened him, I remember being well pleased. You know, to see these features that you see that in the New Hope when they're in the trash compactor and all that. Yeah, they look great, man. They look great, but they've got their problems. This fella doesn't hold his blaster. This guy's not got deep enough peg holes, which I think is a disgrace, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just try him on one of these classic stands here. I've only got one of these. Could do with more of them. Now I'm getting all these retros. And on he goes. Oh yeah, like a glove. Now that is a peg hole that works, man. The classic never dies. I hope you've enjoyed looking at that. Bit of young and old. Two great figures there. Classic and the latest incarnation of the original trilogy, Stormtrooper. Boom. Well, I have to apologise as to how arsey I sounded when I opened those two figures. I think the truth be known, I was still under the weather, to be honest, when I opened those two. But it really did annoy me about the peg holes and the fact that that other fella didn't hold a blaster. But let me know about that. I can't quite remember the original Stormtrooper, but I would imagine he held it at the point where I was trying to get the grip in his hands. That's where the trigger is. But I don't know. Let me know. So anyway, I'm putting this together on Sunday. I'm going to have to stop there because I have run out of time. There are other things that I want to feature, and I will do another episode of Only One Fans very soon. I'll have a bit more time next weekend, and I've got other things to show. Some people have sent me their collection pictures. I will feature them next week. I do apologise if you have not been featured this week. Primarily, I'm talking there to Force Designs, Quadruple One, 777. I'm really sorry, that's 2 weeks have gone by where I've not featured you, but I will soon. I've got it in the bag. So anyway, thank you for watching this episode. I appreciate the support. Every week, people are watching the video live, and if you are just watching it on catch-up, thank you for stopping by. Recovering now nicely, so I should be able to get back with regular content. So do hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video. If you are new around here and are not already subscribed, please do so below for absolute free. If you would like an Only One Kenobi patch, there is a link to that as well in the description of this video. And I look forward to making a new video, hopefully in a better mood, next time. And until next time, I have been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.